Hi, welcome to another episode of Hot Takes. Now, at the moment, we're at the very start, the first week, you will, of autumn, the season of mists and mellow fruitfulness, as the poet put it. And it's quite a nice time of year. It's not too hot. You've still got the long evenings for now, another few weeks, and then they'll go and whatever. But it is actually the gateway to hell as far as the NHS is concerned, because once you put autumn behind you, you're moving into the long, dark winter where the NHS will undoubtedly fall apart. And for people such as, for example, Neil Gray, the minister in charge of the NHS in Scotland, a man who's completely out of his depth, a man who has basically overseen the collapse of the NHS, which has currently got, here in the first week of autumn, record waiting lists. Absolutely rammed. It's never been so bad in its life. And now he's moving into winter. And this will see, of course, an entire collapse. It will implode. But don't worry. The man that is Neil Gray, that bright, vital young man, filled with great ideas and got plans to save us all, has had to come out and admit that he has got nothing. He's fresh out of ideas. He literally has nothing new to add to save the NHS from collapse this winter. And he knows it's coming. He hasn't got the money. And indeed, Shona Robinson is cutting even more money from the health budget in the next budget, So that's not going to help. He has got too few staff. He can't recruit. He can't maintain or retain people. People are leaving left, right, and centre because of the workload caused by not having enough people. It's a self-fulfilling prophecy. And he's sitting there and knowing that this is a job for which he's not suitable. He was in charge of a small department, energy. It was a paper-pushing exercise. He didn't have to deal with people. And he was promoted up to the biggest department of them all. And probably the most important, because you're dealing with people's lives. And he does not know what he's doing. And he admits he's out of his depth. He's confessed this. He's said that he has no idea how to do the winter care preparedness that is supposed to be put in place now. They haven't got one, and they're actually relying on what they did last year. They're actually just blowing the dust off last year's plan and hoping to God it'll work. But of course it didn't work last year either, and this year it won't work, and you've got less money and fewer people. Do you see the problem here? When you have an idiot incapable of doing a job, desperately failing to do a job, it isn't good. Now, he's rather red-faced about it, having to admit this, but what else is he going to do? To be fair to him, it's not his fault. It was already a shit show because of all the failed, useless health ministers that went before. When they weren't knocking one out in Morocco, they were dreaming of leading the party, or they were busy killing thousands and thousands of pensioners, allegedly. So there has been a whole history of failure when it comes to health. He's just inherited it. And of course, it doesn't help with old 86 cutting the budget as well. So what can he do? Well, I think resign. Basically, that's the best thing for Scotland right now. Neil Gray needs to resign as health minister. It will take a weight off his shoulders, of course. Sure, he won't earn as much, but at least he won't be putting himself in such a position that he'll have to go to hospital. He won't, of course. They've all got private healthcare, haven't they? They ain't stupid. Not one of them will ever step foot inside an NHS hospital. They're all boopered up the arse. But with current highest ever waiting list, with outpatients crashing through the roof, with ambulances now waiting hours just to get a patient in the door, what's it going to be like in February? It isn't. There won't be enough ambulances in Scotland because they'll all be queuing up outside hospitals. Now, there is a plan in place. The SNP don't like it because to do it would be the ultimate sanction and show failure. And that is, they want to move patients from Scottish hospitals to English hospitals. But that would be admitting that they couldn't cope. I get the impression they'd rather these people died than were cured or helped in an English hospital. Tell me what you think, but it is an absolute fail. Cheers. Bye.